don't just come into EA Diddle Arena here in Western Kentucky and win on the road. The Rice Owls trying to upset the apple cart against Rick Stansbury's Hilltoppers on a Thursday night. We welcome you courtside here at EA Diddle Arena. The coach, Mo Casera, Joel Gadet, glad to have you along with us. Mo, 81% of the time here, Western Kentucky wins under sixth-year head coach Rick Stansbury. But Rice is playing well. They got a quad 2 victory over the weekend against UAB. Can they carry that over?
This fast-paced Rice team loves to shoot the three. They love to get up and down, but watch out for the defense and the home court advantage here for Western Kentucky.
And watch out for the 7'5" guy under the bucket. Jamarian Sharp is the tallest player in college basketball. The junior college transfer is more than just height, though, isn't he?
This guy is fun to watch. Since he entered the starting lineup 11 games ago, he can block shots, defend the rim. He leads the country in blocks, but he can catch and he can finish around the rim for the Hilltoppers. And for Rice, we talked about this high-powered offensive attack. It's a Boston backcourt. Travis Eby averages 15 points a game, shooting 44% from the three. He can get up and down, and Conference USA Player of the Week, Carl Pierre, the UMass transfer, can really score another 15 points a game. Catch and shoot, can shoot it from deep for the Rice Owls.
You said Boston made. Two guys were high school teammates as well at Boston College High. Carl Pierre transferred from UMass. That's a great story that they can play together at Rice. But Scott Perra, their head coach, said the better one is if they can win, which they haven't done at Western Kentucky since 2015. They're going to try when we tip it off next. Rice Owls, Western Kentucky Hilltoppers here in Western Kentucky. Bowling Green, Mo Casera, Joel Gadet, Scott Perra, the head coach of the Rice Owls. Former assistant under Mike Rhodes at Rice, worked on Herb Sendek's staff out at Arizona State as well. His starting lineup today, we talked about Max Fiedler, Carl Pierre, Travis Eby off the top. Keep an eye on Quincy Oliveri, 16 points a game last year, has struggled with a wrist injury this year. Cameron Justice for Western Kentucky is a 7th year, yes, 7th year graduate student. He has been a nice surprise for Rick Stansbury, the former Mississippi State coach, now in his 6th season here on the Hilltop. Mo Casera, his team does shoot a lot of three-pointers, but they're going to really have to defend three-pointers tonight.
Well, some big keys for this big contest for Western Kentucky, as you mentioned, defend the three, and they're really good at home. But for Rice, shoot the three, shoot it in bunches. They've won 2 in a row, and take care of the basketball. Gotta limit turnovers on the road to win here at Western Kentucky.
Not a lot taller tips than that one. 6'11" against 7'5", and it is a Rice basketball. An offense that is 3rd in Conference USA at 77 points per game. Not many teams shoot more threes. They are 34th in the country in three-point rate.
And Western Kentucky comes out in that 2-3 zone.
And Rice shoots over it, but a miss early. Here comes Western Kentucky, also averaging 77 points a game this season. A 7'5" man in 33 in white. That is Jamarian Sharp. Also Davion McKnight, their do-it-all guy who tried the post feed, and a turnover for the home team.
And this is where Rice is good, and they can get threes up in transition, throwing the basketball ahead.
2. Oliveri thought better of it. Max Fiedler, 6'11". He leads the team in assists. He was looking for himself, decided for the kick out. Shot clock is inside 10. Fiedler against 7'5", and he scores.
Really nice job by Fiedler there. 2 or 3 different shot fakes, trying to get Sharp up in the air. That time he was able to get his shoulder into him, finish around the rim.
Well, here's the thing. When you're 6'11", you're not used to having to go against somebody who's bigger than you.
Fiedler's a big kid, but next to Sharp, he looks short at times, and we're going to have to really watch that matchup inside throughout the contest.
They tried to get it to Sharp on the first possession. This time a little curl and a lay-in for Frampton.
Frampton, nice finish around the rim. The Davidson transfer, 6'5", redshirt senior.
I just want people to bookmark that one too, by the way, because we talk about Rice's threes. Frampton doesn't take any twos. He's the three-point marksman for Western. That was a rarity. Here's Evie. More of that tonight. First one goes down for the Owls.
Nice looking lefty. Transfer from VMI. Nice catch and shoot. And that known of Western Kentucky, going to be some opportunities to shoot the three for him on the dribble drive.
It's just about settling, or not settling rather, it's finding the good ones. McKnight post feed. Forcing it up inside. Hamilton will go to the free throw line. We'll have an opportunity for two here. Foul on Carl Pierre. And this, Mo, is what Western Kentucky does.
Nice job. Give McKnight a lot of credit there. Throwing the ball inside, taking your time, finding post touches. They're going to try to create some foul trouble against Rice and really put pressure on them in the backcourt.
Stansbury's now 6 seasons as the head coach here at Western Kentucky. His teams have shot 1,000 more throws than the opposition.
Well, that's what they want to do. They want to get to the foul line, play that two-tempo offense where they'll look for something in transition, but if not, they're going to try to throw it inside and create mismatches and get to the foul line.
Missed opportunity, though, going 0 for 2. Win for Rice, 2016. Last win here for Rice, 2015. And if that keeps happening, Rice is going to finally get a W here on the Hilltop.
Terrific offense against that 2-3 zone. Throw it in, make the zone collapse, and then kick it out.
Western has only taken 1 shot so far, and that's the second, and it drops. Nice left-handed layup for Davion McKnight.
Penetration, penetration. Rice has got to stop the dribble drive.
Evie guarded by the 7th-year Justice, and there's a foul.
Terrific job throwing the ball inside. Catch, make that zone drop a little bit, move without the basketball, Evie. Always moving, catch and shoot, nice finish.
I mean, you could put that on a clinic tape for how to play offense versus zone.
Exactly, make the defense drop. We've talked about the size of Western Kentucky. Make them look and watch at the ball.
They put it right at the free throw line. It turns into another bucket, this time Quincy Oliveri.
And that's a hard slide for Sharp at 7'5" to protect the rim and get all the way to the foul line. That's an area to attack against that 2-3 zone, that foul line opportunity.
And part of the goal, then you can look back door, can't you? You pull the big fellow away.
Nice job by Rice really executing against the zone.
Justice can't get it to go, and Fiedler with the rebound and did throw it away. Good save by Oliveri. Fiedler can shoot. He has taken and made a 3 this year. So even at 6'11", comfortable out there on the perimeter. Early 6-point lead here for the Owls. Oliveri a triple, and the rebound Frampton. Well, what did Rick Stansbury, or rather what did Scott Perra tell us this week? He said, we need to avoid taking a punch early. That's the second bucket for McKnight. Got to come out swinging. Can't get knocked out in the first 4-minute war, the first 2 4-minute wars. Rice has come out swinging.
I think Coach has to be happy about that. They've done a nice job on the road, talk about what a difficult place is to play. And Western Kentucky out of that zone now, playing man-to-man.
Evie over to Mullins. Little pop at the free throw line. And the rebound Sharp over the 6'11" Fiedler.
Really incredible how well he catches the ball and runs for 7'5".
Yeah, his skill is remarkable. He's been tall for a long time. Justice knocks it down with Oliveri in his face.
How about that? Terrific catch and shoot. The veteran player, we'll talk about his experience throughout his college basketball journey. Nice 3 in transition for Western Kentucky.
Just like that, it's a 1-point game. Answer for Pierre off the bank, no, and another rebound for Sharp. It's his second in transition. McKnight coast to the bucket. Just like that, Hilltoppers up.
Drive right, switch back to that strong left hand, and McKnight has really been good here early for Western Kentucky.
6 of his team's 11. Owls 4 for their first 8, now 4 for their first 9. Mullins way off. Offensive rebound, though, leads to a great look for Oliveri.
That's something that drives coaches crazy. Coach Stansbury not going to be happy about that. The extra possession offensive rebound, that's almost impossible to defend, and Rice shoots the ball too well. 10 threes a game, they're averaging 38% from the 3.
McKnight tried to get it back. Rebound to Rice. Scott Perra said they need to make 3s. They've got 3 in the first 5 minutes. Fiedler looking to be the distributor. Nice bounce pass. Good coverage defensively by Frampton. Again the bounce. Little reverse is good. Travis Evie
Evie moves without the ball, but how about the passes from Fiedler?
Alley-oop, just can't hit home. Sharp wanted a foul. Good look by Justice, who then slipped on defense. That left Pierre open. In rotation, give him 3.
Over 300 made threes on his career. Catch and shoot, feet set. Those are 2 easy good looks for Rice.
4 for their first 8 from behind the line. Rice back up 7. 8-0 run for the Owls. Inside, Hamilton draws contact, and really the first time we've seen Jarius Hamilton today. It's Davion McKnight that gets things going, though, for Western Kentucky. Cameron Justice to follow, but Rice not going anywhere.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, and secure.
That is E.A. Diddle, the longtime head coach here at Western Kentucky, former player, football and basketball. Coached 1,000 games at one school back in the day, Mocha Sarah, and the red towel has been his legacy.
And Diddle Arena is one of the tough places to play. Talk so much in this program about honoring the players and the coaches who played here, and you can feel that with their fan base when you walk in this arena, being around this community, and one of the truly great venues in college basketball.
81% winning at home under Rick Stansbury the last 6 years. There are just some places that are hard, and I think that makes what Rice has done here in the first 6 minutes all the more impressive. They've thrown the first punch.
Well, Scott Parra 0-5 here against Western Kentucky, but I'll tell you what, the pace of play I think probably favors Western Kentucky, but Rice has really been able to get up and down. 4 threes already and 5 assists on 7 baskets.
That'll work for you. Does have some issues on the foul side, though. Carl Pierre with his second put Jarius Hamilton at the line. So now a 5-point game again. On the bench, he's replaced by Terrence McBride, the Cornell transfer. First time seeing Malijal Poteet, number 34 in blue, with the basketball. Really good defensive presence late in games recently. And Cam Sheffield, 5 in blue, has checked in. Good glue guy. The shot clock down inside 5. Kick out for Sheffield. And the rebound, Poteet rising, blocked, but it ripped out of his hands. Good defense by Jalen Butts.
Terrific offensive rebound. Needed a shot fake around the rim there for the young freshman to finish.
Second units in for both of these squads. That includes Jamarian Sharp at 7'5", being on the bench for Western Kentucky. Butts fumbled it away. Hilltoppers come in 9-6. They're 1-1 in conference. Victory against Florida International their last time out. Their loss was a little inexplicable. They were up 17 on the road at Louisiana Tech. Very good team, but gave that game away in the final minute, so trying to get that back in the standings.
I think going to the man has helped Western Kentucky here pick up their pace a little bit, defensive intensity.
And Rice was able to just shoot over the zone. Inside Poteet. They're not having issues with the man, though, either.
Poteet, nice-looking freshman, had 18 against UAB, 7 rebounds, but nice catch that time and finish on the left side.
For its first 8. He's been the stirrer, and that time he's the fouler. That's his first. That's good defense. Step right in front of that guy, full head of steam.
This is the kind of thing you need to do to win on the road. Take a charge, get an extra possession. That's a little effort and energy play. Step up there, take it on the chest, move your feet. Terrific job by Rice. Coach Scott Parra has to be really happy thus far with the way they've come out and played on both ends of the court.
Well, Sheffield checked in. We said he was a glue guy. What did Scott Parra tell us? He'll be a double-figure scorer one day, but it's not his role right now.
Do little things, especially to win on the road in conference.
Poteet again. It's too strong. They've gone into him, though, 3 consecutive possessions. Inside, Butts lost it. Another turnover, 2 and 3 possessions.
You see Rice here play a little two-tempo. They'll push the ball up, take some time, try to get everybody a touch, and they keep going inside.
Got to defend the pick and roll. The help side puts Poteet at the line.
A nice play by Travis Evie, really setting that up. Throwing it in to the big guy, Poteet.
All the
nice
hype.
job off the bench, absolutely. 6'9" freshman, catching the ball, shot faking, finishing around the rim. The Rice Owls up here at Western Kentucky.
Nine-point game here in Western Kentucky, midway through the first half, where residents of Bowling Green, Kentucky are still recovering from last month's devastating EF4 tornado that ripped through a neighborhood not that far from campus. Hilltopper players and coaches were in the area helping clean up debris and servicing the most important needs of their neighbors as well in the recovery. Next Monday, student athletes from Western Kentucky, along with Louisville and UK, are volunteering with the Parks and Recreation Department locally for a field day with kids and families affected by the storms and tornadoes in the state. There was another one, by the way, back at the new year. It has been a trying time to have those warm-up shirts, Mocha Sarah, 270 strong. Western Kentucky, the team, has really rallied behind Western Kentucky, the community.
Incredible sights driving around Bowling Green today, and even on our way to the arena to see areas, neighborhoods that are still without power. We talked about it off the air with our whole crew, just moving, and incredible what this community's been through, and our thoughts are with so many folks in this area, and this university has certainly responded and helped in a lot of ways.
Saw Cameron Justice on the bench as Malijal Poteet goes to the line here for Rice. Spoke to Cameron Justice this week, and the team was in Atlanta to go play Ole Miss. They actually played the next night, and Justice is saying, hey, my wife is back here in Bowling Green. I'm talking to her on the phone, and she's in a bathtub with pillows around her to sleep, just trying to stay safe. And everybody was in the athletic department, but just devastating for this community.
Incredible stories that have come out of it, and a lot of hope now to recover and rebuild here in Bowling Green.
There's Frampton. He got knocked. There is a late whistle, and it's for a flop. Frampton tried to sell the foul, and he'll pay for it.
I thought he sold it pretty well. He had me fooled. This is right in front of us. I thought he did a terrific acting job. You see a little smirk there for the West Virginia native, and I thought he got away with one. And Rice continues to find a way to really control the tempo and pace of this game.
Got a drive here for Mullins in deep. Ball's poked free by the flopper. Frampton good on one end. Drive it to the bucket. McKnight swatted. Oh, the trail by Sheffield. And then Sheffield gets in transition, dishes to Evie. What a great sequence.
Boy, defense leads to offense, and Evie tough to guard in transition. Boy, does he square his shoulders up and finish. Beautiful looking lefty stroke.
Man's got 11 of Rice's 26, and it is all the Owls. Hamilton, an answer, and that calms the storm for a moment.
One of our keys in the game was defending the three for Western Kentucky, and you know, a couple different plays, extra possessions, and in transition, Western Kentucky got to tighten up on defense.
Rice 5 for 10 from 3. Poteet double down and out of bounds.
Transition defense, run, protect the rim, and you see great length here to finish. And Rice not really known for their defense, but they have done a terrific job here early on. And that block leads to offense on the other end where they're shooting the ball tremendously well here early on.
First Rice turnover to set up Western Kentucky. Defense takes a little bit though, Mo, doesn't it? When you've got a younger team and Rice is on the younger side. Hamilton step back.
Kind of one and done for Western Kentucky too. Talked about them wanting to get to the foul line. Going and getting an offensive rebound, maybe a putback. That's something that gets them going. And they've gone smaller here, gotten away from the lineup with Sharp.
0 offensive rebounds. That floater. It's good for Oliveri. 0 offensive rebounds for a team with a 7'5" guy.
They have big, and you know, one of the things that struck me watching them warm up, they are big at all positions, Western Kentucky. So that's the kind of stuff they'll talk about at halftime, trying to go get some extra possessions off the offensive glass.
Hamilton space, forces him to drive. Give the 3, missed by McKnight. half of the shots from 3 here for Rice.
And again, one and done. Rice pulling out the rebound.
That's their second turnover. Could be a highlight for Anderson. Little twirl, unable to finish. When you talk about Rice's offense, their shots are from 3. They have a new thing in Houston. It's called Green Light U. They literally have a green traffic light. Scott Pera, their head coach, said you can buy anything online nowadays. He wasn't wrong.
I love it. Scott Pera comes from the kind of family tree trickling down from VCU, worked for Mike Rhodes, who's now the head coach at VCU, who worked for Shaka Smart, who, hashtag havoc when it was so difficult to play against those VCU teams and teams looking for kind of something to build on. And I love this hashtag Green Light U. Kids today want to play, they want to play fast, and Scott Pera in his 5th year at Rice, what a job they've done creating this kind of culture and this attitude about turning that green light on and playing once they get out on the court.
And he said 2 things. 1, Rice needs to be unique. It's an Ivy League school in Conference USA, so find our niche. But 2, it had to work. And hey, I don't always think of things that are going to fit with the college kids of today, but he said this one, I walked out of my office, I looked at my assistants, what do you think of Green Light U? And all the antennas went up.
And many coaches have tried different things, but this does work for them. You mentioned tremendous academic institution, Rice, and finding a niche, and they're building here. They've got some young pieces, they've got some transfers. They've really done a nice job building a program in Houston.
The lead is 10. Into Fiedler, their leader in assists. Had their first bucket, nothing since, and the shot clock expires, trying to score over Jamarian Sharp, who's back in.
Well, there you see the impact of Sharp, 7'5", 225, this junior college transfer, getting better and better, just impacting the offensive attack for Rice there.
And he's got to play. Like, he didn't play a ton in junior college.
Shot a 3-pointer on the season, but watching him in pregame here, he's got a nice looking stroke. He's just getting better and better every game.
Anderson's blocked by Fiedler. Rice fighting for the loose ball, and they'll come away with it.
Isn't it interesting? Rice with a couple big blocks. We talk so much about the blocks of Western Kentucky, but their defense has been great here in the first half.
And they've taken their own medicine, flipped it around. Anderson, tough rebound. And a whistle after the fact. We've got a flop on the other side. They've cracked down on that this year. A second flop is a Class B technical 1 free throw.
We've had 2 flops here already. 2 flops. Refs on top of the referees on top of that.
You like that?
I don't think that would have made me very happy as a coach. I would have struggled with the flop call. I struggled with a lot of things, but that I definitely would have struggled with.
I was saying, what did make coaches happy from officials back?
Nothing. 0.
Anderson draws the foul. It's the first on Riley Abercrombie. Flop or no?
Tell you what, first of all, it was a tough-looking shot and very well contested, and I think that could have been a foul. Once again, tough to judge that on the fly.
It looked like an accordion, but everything looks different in slow-mo.
It does. And Western Kentucky getting back to what they do well, getting back to the foul line.
Hilltoppers 5 for 7. Great. Meanwhile, Rice is 1 of 1. So the whole shoot more free throws, actually make more free throws than your opponents take is the goal. Well in order.
And they're on it now. Important possession here for Rice. Little momentum for Western Kentucky. They go back to that 2-3 zone. Look for them to pass it in that foul line area, then kick it, move it out the basketball and kick it out.
It's a great look for Mullins. Wide open.
Well, right on cue. Throw it into the foul line. The defense drops. Another wide open look for Rice.
See if McKnight can't get you going here. He had 6 early points for Western Kentucky. Team down 11. It's McKnight with the left hand. Right time.
Strong lefty and big finish going through that defense. McKnight really been the spark here for Western Kentucky.
He had a triple-double earlier this year. Nearly had a second. 8 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists against Ole Miss. Lob to Abercrombie. Australian out to Oliveri. Rising up for 2. And the rebound, Hilltoppers. Anderson looking for Sharp. They tried to just throw it up to the big fella a couple of times, and Mullins just pushing him out of the way. Rice playing well. Max Fiedler likes to hang loose sometimes, on the court and off. We'll show you when we come on back. It's a star-studded postseason melee as CBS Sports Network heads to Orlando for the 2022 Hula Bowl. Watch the best in college football go head-to-head. It is Saturday at noon Eastern, and it's right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. You can do this at the Hula Bowl as well. Max Fiedler at 6'11", surfing. He is from Florida, so it makes sense. You ever surfed, Mocasera?
I have a little bit. You know, I'm in the surf community. I'm very impressed by the size of his feet and what he can do. More impressed about his academic background, though.
He is the Conference USA Scholar Athlete of the Year reigning. He explained to us this week what econometrics is, and it's basically economics, but like science projects. How does X affect Y? If you introduce this into the economy, what's the output? It was a lot of things I didn't understand, but
I'm glad you're here, Joel. I couldn't even pronounce some of them. I'm glad I didn't have to say any of the classes. I mean, very impressive young man. You see him out there surfing, and that's also the kind of stuff that really helps a basketball player, especially a big guy. Hand and feet coordination, balance. I mean, very impressive for the young Floridian, 6'11" on a surfboard.
Just got a quick update, by the way, from Kip Kissinger. I missed this too. The clock, with 9 minutes left to go in the first half, just stopped for 25 seconds. So if you're looking at the bottom of your screen and said, that is not the time that it was when we went to break, that's why.
Well, it shows we got a good game going on. There's so much exciting stuff going on here. Size and three-point shooting.
Cameron Justice back
venue.
in. Well, the three-pointer's not falling for one side. That's the problem for Western.
One and done again. Long shot for Western Kentucky, and back to the man-to-man now for Western Kentucky.
And a deep three, Rice, no. Tip back, almost an own goal. Down to the deck, big tree fall hard. 6'11", Fiedler trying to get the board. 0 offensive rebounds for Western Kentucky. They won't have a chance here. Tip it into the backcourt. Oliveri, 1-on-2 to the bucket anyway.
How about that finish? Steal, push ahead. Oliveri, nice looking sophomore, Atlanta, Georgia native, 6'3", 200 pounds.
He's got 9 points in the first half. I think his wrist is getting better.
Man, he was a third-team selection, Conference USA last year, and a guy that's battled some injuries, as you mentioned, but nice run out there and finish.
Well, there's your first O-board. A chance opportunity for Western Kentucky. McKnight, nice find! Anderson does that all the time.
Josh Anderson has been the spark and move without the basketball. Terrific cut.
Second in school history at Western Kentucky in dunks. Only Charles Bassey has more, 76er. 3 to answer, Evie, and the rebound, Justice. He's 6'3". Gotten in there for a couple of boards. No look, Sharp, that's a dunk. Thunderous, timeout Rice. Western Kentucky getting comfortable at home.
Back-to-back dunk shots. The Hilltoppers with some momentum here in Kentucky.
Western Kentucky closing the gap here. Cameron Justice, Mo, told us this week that when Josh Anderson goes on a break, there's a gasp in the arena because it looks like that.
You heard the air kind of come out of the arena, and it was just movement without the ball. And watch Jamarian Sharp here catch and finish. We talk about the big fellas improvement. This is what big guys have to do to get better. Number one, catch the ball, and he has no trouble finishing a dunk shot.
How good, like for 7'5", he is incredibly well coordinated.
He really is, and improving and improving. And big guys take longer, right? And I love the change in defense out of the timeout.
Good job to fight against that press. Leads to an easy bucket for Oliveri.
Oliveri been very good. That foul line area constantly open, and Rice taking advantage.
Good handles by Justice. Great defense by Sheffield. Offense hasn't been bad. 48% for Western Kentucky, and now 3 free throws coming for Josh Anderson. That's the cardinal sin by Quincy Oliveri.
And maybe the first mistake that Rice has made in this entire first half, fouling a three-point shooter. You see Coach Para not happy about that. No need to do that, especially on a long contested three there.
He's an 80% free throw shooter, so that's candy. offensive player, really good defensive player. You see those steal numbers. He had 6 of them against Memphis. This team had 19 steals against Memphis. They're capable. If they're down, getting themselves right back in.
Coming into this game, 136 steals for Western Kentucky and 96 blocks. That creates offense, and that's what they have to do to win.
There's different ways to play defense. You can lock down in the half court, or you can be really anticipatory, great hands.
And have a 7'5" guy protecting the rim.
That helps, like that.
There it is, right on cue.
Here comes McKnight. Boy, Sharp wanted it in transit. Justice instead. Sharp, no! Yes! Stole it back from the man at 6'11" and then threw it into the backcourt. And they will call that a backcourt violation. Fiedler's made it hard for Sharp in there.
They're really battling. Fiedler's done a nice job of getting those big, strong shoulders into the body of Sharp and just forcing him to be really physical. So a really tough battle. Sometimes you don't see all those things going on, but they are really being physical underneath the rim.
Jarius Hamilton checks back in. Sends the shooter Frampton to the bench. You know, Mo, we talked about this pregame. It's an old statistic, but Sports Illustrated put it out back in 2011 using CDC stats. Evie's 3 is short. Estimated that there were between the ages of 20 and 40, 70 males in the United States 7 feet tall. We got 2 of them in this game.
It's really incredible stats. Some good digging by you. And
got another whistle on that ball going out of bounds. Rice still leads by 6, but Sharp, oh, he makes things fun. He makes it loud. Don't look away unless you're Cam Justice throwing him the ball. Rice Owls have trailed for all of 22 seconds here in this first half. They have gotten it done on the road. Coming up on AT&T in the half, A.J. Ross, Chris Walker, John Rothstein, and Seth Davis have all the latest in college basketball, plus stats, highlights, and more. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Mo Casera, I don't know if you know this, John Rothstein sleeps in May.
He does not get a lot of sleep this time of year. You see here our Conference USA Player of the Year candidates. I think there's a couple guys in here that are going to be playing at the next level for sure, and we have a couple of them in this game. Carl Pierre, who's been on the bench with some foul trouble, and Jamarian Sharp with his leading the country in blocks. And I love Tavion Kinsey at Marshall. I think he's a guy that I would keep an eye on, playing at the next level, and maybe Conference USA Player of the Year.
Underrated league. Scott Parra told us that this week.
I believe that too. There's some really good players, some depth, and a lot of terrific teams. It's going to be an interesting February and March for sure in Conference USA.
It's won an NCAA tournament game, Conference USA, 5 of the last 6 tournaments. It's not every conference does that, especially outside the Power 5. Rice basketball, Evie, 5 to shoot. Poteet's back in. He's been great with 2 to shoot. He gave it up, and that's off a foot. Let him play on. Justice wants it. Justice ripping baseline. His handles are awesome. Dump down, that's easy. Jarius Hamilton.
Probably the best defensive possession, then a good offensive possession for Western Kentucky, trying to get some momentum going into halftime.
Cut it down to 4. Sharp just glides over. All of a sudden, your path to the bucket is gone. Bounce pass, put Sharp in motion. He's usually good trailing a shot like that, but good finish, Poteet.
And a little bit of fatigue kicking in there, but boy, he runs the court well. Back to offense.
Justice, real good offense. Didn't make the shot.
Just when you thought Western Kentucky had a little momentum, Rice comes back, runs some good offense, able to finish around the rim and then get a stop.
Western has cooled on offense in general. Started 5 for its first 6. Got to reach in. It's on Josh Anderson. 4 for their last 16, Western Kentucky.
Coming into this game, Rice 20th in the country in 3-pointers made. And they've done a nice job of that here early on, already making 6 and had some really good looks at the 3 line.
And they just let it fly. We talked about green light U. That takes some getting used to. Scott Parra, there's a 3 in the corner. Oliveri missed. As a coach, you have to adjust with the times, though. Lob, Anderson!
about that pass by Davian McKnight?
We've got a whistle in transition, though, before that three. I mean, they get up and down here on the hilltop.
McKnight put that pass where it was literally almost in the rim, just a quick catch and shoot for Anderson. Terrific pass, and you see their ability to run and score in transition.
Foul was the second on Frampton.
Watch this throw ahead. That's almost from half court. It almost went in. Catch and finish. If I could have jumped that high, I could have even put that one in.
Can you jump that high?
And no shot. And there's another three. Just when Western Kentucky thinks they got it going, boy, the three-point attack for the Rice Owls is awesome.
Here's the thing, like the dunks look cool, but those are worth more points. The further away you shoot it, the more points they give you. Midway through the shot clock, that's a long two. And it does bounce down for Hamilton. It's 9 first half points. Guy that averages 14. McKnight on ball defense. Boy, Sharp got switched. Evie into Poteet. Against 7'5", there's nothing there. Mullins. Good kick. Ball movement gets you open looks. And the loose ball tipped to Western Kentucky. McKnight takes it himself this time and buries it for 10 first half points.
Well, Davian McKnight has been special. 93 assists coming into this game, I should say, but it's been his offensive attack been great here this evening.
And now the crowd gets in, help build the defensive energy, one possession game. Inside a minute here in the first half. McKnight ran into the screen hard. Poteet is stripped and stays here, but what a great possession by that young man.
Physical play here, and Conference USA standing straight up and down. Good no call by the officials there, and then rolling to the basket. Great hands. 6 seconds on the shot clock, out of bounds underneath.
Lob it all the way up top to Poteet. Screens for three, and it's blocked by Sharp out on the perimeter. And then a Rice foul. This will be 1-1.
And that's where having Sharp really helps defensively. 6 seconds on the shot clock. You just can't get anything near the rim, so they have to throw the ball out. And the defensive intensity for Western Kentucky, as you see here, has really picked up. Nice job on the catch. And to the foul line, McKnight has been spectacular here in the first half.
It's not officially a block, it is a shot change. But you think about 7-for-5 defending the rim. He also defends the arc.
And his conditioning is good too. I've been really impressed. He's been able to get up and down the court and play a lot of minutes here. Mentioned in the open, he was inserted into the starting lineup 11 games ago, and since then, Western Kentucky has become a much more dynamic team.
McKnight now has 11 here in the first half. Really good dynamic duo.
McKnight was out here early this evening, getting a lot of shots up and a lot of work before this game started. He's been terrific here offensively for Western Kentucky.
Still a 2-point Rice lead. Carl Pierre checked back in. We hadn't seen him for some time with 2 fouls. Went to the bench very early. He's played 7 minutes, but he is a dead red 3-point shooter. So keep your eyes out for 12 in blue at the bottom of your screen.
Rice likes a high ball screen here. Try to dribble drive, look for a kick out for a 3.
Mullins off the Poteet screen, blocked! Goaltend.
Well, they went with the high ball screen, got the dribble drive, nobody collapsed, so try to get it all the way to the rim against the 7'5" Sharp, and that time, goaltending off the backboard. Good call and nice execution there by Rice. Ended the first half. Dribble drive.
Use it or lose it timeout for Rick Stansberry. Trying to make it a one-possession game at the half. Seconds left to go in the first half. Western Kentucky with the called timeout. Have to imagine this is Davian McKnight.
This is Davian McKnight trying to get to the rim, create something. And if you're Rice here, want to play without fouling, try to keep him in front of you.
20 in white here. McKnight right downhill. Step back. McKnight with a second to go in the half. It's an exclamation point, and it makes it a one-possession game.
Defensive breakdown there for Rice. Not forcing him back to his right, letting him go to his strong left hand. Should switch there quickly, try to defend that. McKnight's been spectacular here in the first half.
He has his average for Rick Stansberry, 13 points. Not in a game, in half of one. Western Kentucky's been down all half. It's right back in it with 20 minutes to go on the Hilltop. At the break, it's the Rice Owls over the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers in Bowling Green by 2. As we welcome you back here courtside at EA Diddle Arena, Mo Cassera, Joel Gadet. Mo, Ion College Basketball podcast this past week, Matt Norlander said upsets last week in college basketball. Rice beat UAB. Rice! And Scott Parra told us this week, hey, we don't want to be the Rice anymore. They've come to play today.
They sure have, and they haven't got a lot of production. Carl Pierre, a guy we featured in the Open, only 3 points out of with some foul trouble, yet they have the lead at halftime, and they've played very well here at Western Kentucky.
They have hit 7 threes in the first half, on pace for one of their best three-point shooting days of the season. Why?
Well, they've shared the basketball. Inside out, found a way to get some open looks against that zone. Did a nice job of inside out, as I mentioned. Kick it in, pass it out, move without the basketball, and operating on that foul line area and throwing it back out, getting their feet set. Nice offensive attack in the first half.
On the flip side, Western Kentucky actually trailing the points in the paint battle, but they've been loud.
And how about transition? 20-9 run in the last 6 minutes of the first half. Western Kentucky really getting out and running, attacking in transition, throwing the ball ahead. Very effective as they ended the first half.
Davion McKnight, 13 points. That is his season average already. And a post feed to begin the second half. That draws a foul on Rice. The foul picture is heavy in that direction. That's the third on Carl Pierre, and the free throw battle dramatically in Western Kentucky's favor, 13-1.
And they've gone right at Carl Pierre. He actually looked over at the bench at Coach Parrott, said, no, don't take me out, don't take me out. But they're going to have to try to save him here for the end of the game. You see the focus. Western Kentucky going to try to use their size and strength and go inside.
Cameron Justice, quiet first half, loud first minute of the second. It's his second bucket.
Play, yeah, Joel. Nice set play, baseline out of bounds underneath. Coming back in the inbounder for a good look at a three.
Western Kentucky's first lead since 11-10. It was 5 minutes into the game. They've only led for 22 seconds. That's a big possession just from a momentum swing early, and you go to your best player, but he's stripped. Fiedler had it ripped from his hands, and a no-look to Sharp. Justice did it again.
Well, Cameron Justice has been spectacular here to start the second half, throwing the ball ahead, and nice finish by the big fella.
Great start for Western Kentucky. 3-point lead is gone. We're back tied thanks to Chris Mullins.
And that's what they do well. Throw the ball inside. Nice job by Fiedler that time. Nothing around the rim, kicking it out to a good shooter for Rice.
And don't hang your head. Turnover led to a dunk. Get right back in it.
That's right.
Frampton, he's a dead red shooter. Western Kentucky's best. And rebound Oliveri. Rice didn't think it was just going to come in here and get a win. They knew it had to earn a win. Sheffield. And a long rebound down to the 7'5" Jamarian Sharp, tallest player in the country this season. Throw it down low to the 6'8" Hamilton. He goes back to the line.
Good defense leads to a run out. Throw the basketball ahead. Talked about his hands, his ability to run the floor, ability to catch. No trouble finishing with that 7'5" frame, but his ability to run and catch on the run is what really impresses me, Joel.
I think he goes up to dunk and is just too high.
He's almost up there too high. Yeah, I had to laugh when you said that, you know, looking at him, and he really has a great demeanor too. We were watching him here before the game, you know, talking to people in the stands and fans, and what a wonderful personality he has for that big 7'5" frame.
Both free throws good for Hamilton. It's not a problem most people have, but like when you're 7'5", he doesn't really have to jump to dunk. Just off his toes. Trying to put him in the pick and roll. McKnight sticking on Evie. And then the back tap, another steal.
And there's where the presence of Sharp, just being around the rim, not even blocking a shot, affected that possession.
The heat check there for Justice. Still a 2-point, 1-possession game. Rice led for all but 22 seconds of the first half. Really dealing with its first adversity here. Inside Fiedler, and that's an altered shot, not a blocked shot, but it's altered by 7-5.
Fiedler tried to go to use the rim to protect and get it to the other side, but Sharp still bothered that shot.
Now Fiedler alters that one. Well, you just got size on both sides. Hamilton, block called. Back to the free throw line again for 2. That's 2 on Sheffield.
And you see the focus here for Western Kentucky as the second half has started. Go inside right away, get to the foul line. They already put Carl Pierre on the bench with his 3rd foul. And again, aggressive move here, get to the foul line. That gives them the ability to set their defense, pick up a little 3-court pressure. Oh, it's going to be on the floor. They're calling it before. So baseline out of bounds underneath here. Watch the inbounder coming back in. Western Kentucky really good baseline out of bounds underneath.
Look for a 3. Yep, Frampton in the corner rising up, and nearly an air ball. Rice, great look ahead, intercepted by Sharp.
How about the wingspan there and the ability to run back on defense to get a hand on that play.
He's a 7'5" DB. He didn't dunk that, but give him 2. And Western Kentucky up by a game-high 4.
Really impressed with his condition. I think it's worth mentioning again. Rice did everything right in the first half except the last couple minutes, and Western Kentucky now with the lead.
How's Rice answer? Fiedler, no. Probably get that shot anywhere in the shot clock, can't you?
Well, they've had an answer every time Western Kentucky's had a punch, but
Sharp just has more answers. And a timeout, Scott Pera and Rice. It is the big fella making it a 6-point lead.
He really has. He's impacted the game offensively and defensively. We're going to talk about Jamarian Sharp when we come back here at Western Kentucky, the 7'5" center, doing it all here for the Hilltoppers. Dunk shot.
One of the questions I get about being 7'5" and playing basketball is, do I have to jump to dunk? And I'm going to show you. Just a little bit. This is what it looks like for me to have to walk around Diddle. And when I run out for games, I have to dunk just like this. We have this height chart in Diddle, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when I'm next to it. And then you have Big Red over here, more like Little Red.
Mo Casera, you remember when you were 6'6" at 15, right?
Always wanted to get to 6'6". You see the development, the height, the growth, and we've talked about it. You know, for big guys to be able to run and catch, to go with that size that we've just charted here, really impressive. Been really impressed with his motor, and you can also see a little of his personality there, right? You know, fun being around him before the game and watching him out, talking to fans and other of his, you know, some of his teammates, and you know, just a big personality for a big body.
The guy was hitting step-back threes in warm-ups just for fun.
And that will be part of his development for him to play at the next level, ability to shoot the ball, but he hasn't do much other than dunk. He came into the game 3rd in most dunks in the country, but 4 for 5 tonight, but he's impacted the game on both ends.
And they get a foul on Cameron Justice here out of the timeout. As impactful as Sharp has been, a lot of it has been facilitated by Justice, 55 and white. Really big fire starter here in the second half for the home team. What do you do here if you're Rice to find that offensive magic you had in the first half again?
Well, you've got to take a little bit of time, and that's the guy you probably want shooting the basketball. Got to get those threes going again, take a little time off the clock. But now it's going to be on the defensive end now. You got to get some stops, try to get a couple quick run-outs and get a couple threes in transition.
Just 1 of 4 now in the second half from 3. It's 7 in the first half. Inside Sharp, and he's pushed by Poteet. He's going to add a little bit more weight to that frame as he develops as well, Mo. Rick Stansbury said he eats like a bird. When he can put 20, 25 pounds on that frame, he won't get pushed over so much. Western ball. Let's take a look at your game summary brought to you by AT&T 5G. Mo, how even is this game? Both teams 13 assists on 18 makes.
The one thing that really stands out for me is those fast break points, the ability to get out and run off of a turnover or a little mistake that Rice may have made. You mentioned this is a really tough place to play. Can't do that. Letting quick runouts for Western Kentucky has really got them back in the game and why they have a 6-point lead.
That and free throws. 12 of 15 from the line. Rice has taken 1 free throw.
Uno, only one. Baseline out of bounds. Western Kentucky been really good. Look for Sharp rolling back to the basket off a little pick and roll.
Well, Sharp was pointing to the bucket. I think he wanted a lob. Here's Hamilton, 11 points. Really dynamic first half, and he goes right back to it.
And they've just gone inside from the very first play to start the second half. They've gone inside and put pressure on that Rice defense.
They have 8 points in the paint in the second half, Western Kentucky. That's half of what they had in the first. Poteet, nice take.
Another big young guy with good hands. Poteet, another nice catch around the rim. The Reidsville, North Carolina native, 6'9", 260 freshman.
Good defense, too. Walls off against Hamilton. Inside Sharp. Boy, you turned your head for a second, Mo.
Davion McKnight, terrific pass. Ball doesn't stay in his hand very long. Great catch again by the big fella Sharp.
It's his 6th assist, by the way. Rice letting things slip, down by 8 points. Rice only trailed for 22 seconds in the first half. Oliveri, boy, Sharp altered that. Oliveri could feel him there, Mo, couldn't he?
He did. He was in for a layup and tried to trick the big fella out of it. Carl Pierre back in the game for Rice as well.
Hamilton doesn't get the roll. Rice has rebounded well. Pierre is 12 in blue, top of your screen. Big three-point threat, but with 3 fouls. Well, you gotta roll the dice here with him, though, don't you?
You do. You got to play him now. You're on the road, and another turnover caused by Sharp.
Justice, another no look. Double team, Hamilton, and a foul. Back to the line. How do you lose a guy who's 7 feet tall, 5 inches?
And can catch and finish like this? You see, trying to get over there a little bit late, and Davion McKnight really takes advantage. Quick pass. Rice gets caught in the switch. The freshman gets mixed up there in defense, and can't lose him because he'll finish it.
So here's my question in that particular spot. Couple of freshmen down there between Poteet and Sheffield. You can't switch in that situation. Even if it's a mismatch that close to the bucket, does Sheffield just have to play D?
In that situation, you have to try to just push the big fella off because you can't let him have a wide open dunk, and that's, you know, a difficult thing to switch on the fly, especially on the road. We've talked about what a difficult place this is to play, and Western Kentucky has really picked up the pace of this game, guarded the 3, one of my keys coming into the game here in the second half.
Western Kentucky plus 11 in the second half. Pierre needs something from him, totally taken out of it by foul trouble. 7 to shoot. Sheffield, gotta go. 2 to shoot, kick out, Pierre blocked.
I think it's worth discussing as well, and got to give Coach Stansberry and his staff a lot of credit. They came out in that zone to try to keep Sharp back around the basket. Since they've come out of that zone and played man-to-man, they've gotten more aggressive, they've defended the 3 better, and they've gotten themselves the lead.
When you mix up defenses like that, it's hard. Like, you practice it, but your main focus is going to be your man-to-man in practice on a daily.
It is. They play some zone, and you know, we talked about it off the air before the game started, how much they play, and certainly switching helped them tonight.
Sharp, that's not a block, but he just smacked the thing. Turned it into a loose ball. Pierre. 3, pressed against the sideline, no. Second half, 1 of 6 for the Owls. Again, a no-look by Sheffield. He just sets up his teammates, and Anderson can't pay it off.
Rice got to try to get Carl Pierre going offensively. Conference USA Player of the Week last week, just can't get anything going offensively.
Evie inside, Poteet, little dunk. That's how you do it.
Evie is an engine, isn't he? He keeps going and going and going. Great pace. Finding the open man, constantly going for Rice. And nice backcourt duo here. We mentioned best friends from Boston made their way to Houston.
Couple transfers. Evie through VMI, Pierre through UMass. Wide open, Hamilton. Got it. Only 28% from 3, but that wide open.
Yeah, not statistically great shooting, Hamilton. Not a great free throw shooter or 3-point, 28% coming in the game, but that one looked good.
Pierre flinched at the 3. That's rare to see. And then a whistle. Sheffield came to stab it free. That's another foul on Rice, but Sharp, get out the way. Guy just impacts basketball games, and his team's up 10. Western Kentucky up 10 over Rice, and the Hilltoppers are back in action next Thursday as they head to Florida to take on FAU at 7 Eastern. That is right here on CBS Sports Network. All part of Conference USA. These standings are updated through tonight. Everybody in action. This is the last game still to go final. Old Dominion stands at the top with that 2-0 conference record. Things get real interesting in the West, though. Louisiana Tech 21 from Keyston Willis today. UAB picked up a massive victory. Jordan Walker had 20 points. 84-56, UAB took down Florida International. This is a good league, Mo, an underrated league.
Super league. Little top heavy right now, but some very good teams, terrific coaches, and Rice going, I think we're going to go to a little bit of zone here. I think they are, a little matchup zone look.
Try to throw some confusion at Western Kentucky, make them think on the fly. Carve their way back into this. McKnight's been quiet in the second half. Cam Justice has really stepped up in his stead. Tip back by Jalen Butts. 12-point lead for Western Kentucky.
Another transfer from DePaul, Jalen Butts around the rim. This is a big physical team. You know, we talked about looking at the standings there, the different teams, and I'll tell you what, Western Kentucky going to be tough to beat here.
Butts with the foul. That is big and physical.
You know, Rice did everything right except the last couple minutes. They started to let the game get away from them in the first half, and we've talked about green light you and getting up and down and playing fast and playing free, but just the physical presence defensively and offensively of Western Kentucky has just worn them down here.
This 4-minute war, though, is the really important one for Rice, because Scott Parra told us ultimately what they want is for this to be a game at the under 8. Make it a game here, down by double figures. Drive it, Mullins will go to the line and one for just the second free throw Rice will take tonight.
Nice job by Rice, not settling for a contested 3, trying to get something going to the rim. Love this dribble drive here. Sharp out of the game, get to the rim, and 1. And as you mentioned, now they got the game at 10. You know, you're down 10. You want to chip away at this thing, try to get that under 8 timeout and have it as a game. You know, have it under 10, and Rice still within striking distance because of the way they shoot the basketball.
Foul was the 3rd on Frampton. And in this day and age, Mo, the 3-pointer, the ultimate equalizer, you're never out of the game.
Get you right back in the game, especially the way they shoot it. But now it's going to be on this end for Rice. Playing through the defensive possession, playing without fouling.
Justice, another no look. McKnight doesn't like to shoot the 3. Justice does. And a big 3 in the corner for Cameron Justice.
McKnight has been spectacular, unselfish, finding open shooters, and just when Rice got a little momentum, a big 3 dagger for the Hilltoppers.
8th assist for Davion McKnight. Mullins and another foul. And how about this young man taking it onto his shoulders? That's the 4th foul on Luke Frampton. But Chris Mullins, God, it's been around a long time. This is his 4th year at Rice, which is something you don't say a lot this day and age in college basketball. Veteran guy, let's go.
Absolutely, a guy who can score a little bit, had 25 earlier in the season against Evansville, so they need him now in his dribble drive, ability to get to the foul line.
Came into the day 48 points from 1,000 in his career. That'll help. He has 12 tonight. The points are good, but it's stopping Western from getting points. What do you do differently defensively if you're the Owls now?
Well, I thought they might change up their defense a little bit, but they've stayed with that man-to-man. Got to do a great job contesting shots, not over-helping, and then finding a body, boxing out, not letting Western Kentucky get to that offensive glass.
Open for Justice. That's not going to get it done defensively. Cameron Justice, 3rd 3 of the second half.
And what happened is Evie over-helped a little bit, made a real long, difficult slide, and the confidence growing for Cameron Justice and the Hilltoppers.
Got a shot altered, then Fiedler couldn't put it back. Talk about games getting away, though, from Rice a little bit. Games don't get away from Cameron Justice.
They really don't. Watch this drive here by Rice trying to get back to the foul line again. And I see the foul there late. Little hit to the back of the head. And Fiedler been quiet. Carl Pierre been quiet offensively. So without those two guys, you know, finding ways to score for Rice could be really difficult. But as you mentioned, it's the other end now. Now you've got to try to stop Western Kentucky on defense.
That is the 6th point combined between Carl Pierre and Max Fiedler. They averaged 24. This will give Fiedler 4 if he hits it. He's still stuck at 3. 13 was the largest lead for Western Kentucky. We're now here at 12. What does Cameron Justice do for you? What does Hamilton do for you? 19. Largest lead again for Western Kentucky, and nearly a one and done. Poteet rising. Good putback.
Really good looking freshman, nice offensive rebound. And how about Hamilton? Just confidence, not shooting well statistically coming into the game, but I think any pass from McKnight now is just gonna go in the basket.
Anderson a 3. That's around and out. He wasn't passed to by McKnight, that was the thing. Justice was. Justice still has it. Couldn't pay it off. Rebound Pierre. Boy, that would have been assist 11. Double-double for Davion McKnight tonight. 13 points, 10 assists. Mullins down to Fiedler. Back to Mullins. No. Boy, when it rains, it pours, or it doesn't.
And when you're on the road in really difficult places to play, you just can't afford to miss layups, can't afford to turn the ball over, and you really can't afford to have a defensive breakdown. So getting towards that 8-minute mark here, and this is got to get some stops time for Rice.
13 points again, the lead. 3 up top, Hamilton. Rebound Fiedler, opportunity for Rice, get out and go. Score on the fast break, which they have not done tonight. To the free throw line here for Evie. Second foul on McKnight. Travis Evie has not scored, Mo, in the second half.
Nice job there, though. Get himself to the foul line. One thing that allows is not for a quick run out for Western Kentucky.
Is that how, you know, Rod Carew used to say when you're in a slump in baseball, you'd bunt? If you're in a slump in basketball, drive it to the bucket?
It's a really good analogy, and what that means is, you know, if you don't have a good look, you don't have anything going, try to get yourself to the foul line, slow the game down a little bit. You're in a tough environment. Western Kentucky's playing really well, so get yourself to the foul line. That's what great point guards do. Really impressed with this Boston native, Travis Evie. You mentioned transfer from VMI. Coming into the game, 49% field goal shooter, 44% from the 3, 78% from the foul line. And that's something he probably needs to do more here. Try to put pressure on that defense and get himself to the foul line.
Going to go into sports law, sports management, interns with the Rotary Lombardi Award on the football side of things. Travis Evie. Back to an 11-point game. Lob it up. Oh, he wanted to jam with one. Instead, he'll jam with two. Jamarian Sharp. He has, Mo Casera, 5 dunks in this game.
5 dunk shots, came in 3rd in the NCAA in dunks per game. He may climb that ladder here before it's all over. And I'll tell you what, nice set play there with McKnight getting the ball back to Sharp.
Trying to use Fiedler and Pierre in the pick and roll. Evie, cut off, tries again, high kiss, no. Boy, trying to get it up there over the long arms of shot blockers. Jamarian Sharp doing it at both ends, though.
Really nice little set play. Throw it up, let him go get it, take his time, finish. Jamarian Sharp and the Hilltoppers flexing their muscles here in Bowling Green.
It's been all about the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers here in the second half, and coming up next, it's all about the West Coast Conference. Don't miss the 3rd of our triple header. Loyola Marymount on the road against the USF Dons. It is right here on CBS Sports Network. Of course, the West Coast Conference, also home to Gonzaga. They're going to the dance. The question is, how many teams will come out of that West Coast Conference, Mo?
Well, probably one, and it probably will be the Zags, but you never know. There are some good teams in there, and got a couple good ones on the network coming up tonight.
Take a look back here in Bowling Green. Gonzaga hits threes. Tonight, a lot of threes, but they came in the first half for Rice.
Well, I think the keys to the game, you know, Rice had to take care of the ball. They have not done a great job. Started out shooting the ball well, and in the second half, Western Kentucky, the real key is they've defended the three. And home cooking, I think, is the biggest thing there. They're really good at home. You have to play a really, really great game to win here in Bowling Green.
Cooking was the right word, because when they score 70 points here at home, everybody gets free tacos.
I like it.
So they just did that. Free food and college kids, they go very well together.
Students aren't back here yet, and still a great crowd here. Students coming back this weekend, so I'm sure they will be happy to have some of their student body back in the stands.
An air ball from Davion McKnight. Got a hook underneath. That goes against Western Kentucky on the rebound. Fouls on Jamarian Sharp. That is his first. At 7'5", that is his first foul, and maybe the first bad thing Davion McKnight has done in this game.
I think the thing that impresses me most about him is his conditioning. You know, so many big guys, you know, really get winded, don't run real well, but he can really get up and down the court. They don't take him out for long periods of time, and a guy who's just improving, good hands, and does try to block everything around the rim, catches it, finishes. So going to be fun to watch him as he continues to develop through this season.
1-and-1 here from Elijah Poteet. One and done from Elijah Poteet. And again, the ball in the hands of Davion McKnight, who Mo has 13 points and 11 assists. He already has 1 triple-double this year. It was against a non-D1 opponent. But I think the more impressive game was when he had 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 11 assists against Ole Miss.
And 20 assists for Western Kentucky on the game.
Justice missed short. And this team is veteran. They help each other out. They move the ball. Pierre in the corner. And Rice missing and is dried up. Now 1 of 7 in the second half.
Yeah, it's green light. That's the way they like to play. And that's the guy you want shooting the ball. Just hasn't been able to get going because of foul trouble tonight. And Western Kentucky done a nice job executing on both ends of the court here in the second half.
So they put Sharp in the pick and roll with McKnight. Spin around, Hamilton, 21 points. The Maryland transfer.
6'8", 230, and he almost looks small out there on their front court. Played very well here this evening for Western Kentucky.
Nice dish by Pierre and Poteet. 13 points. He's the big that is really, you know, as much as Sharp has turned some heads, Poteet's a freshman.
And this Rice team has a nice balance of a few transfers and some really young players, building a terrific program there for Coach Para.
Step by step, got a big quad 2 win against UAB. But now how can you build on that? There's a steal for Pierre. Does not have numbers. Blocked against the glass. Anderson, it was a 1-on-3. It's block number 4 tonight. That's a bad day blocking the ball for Western
Size
Kentucky.
and speed for Western Kentucky.
Anderson, oh, both ends. Josh Anderson and the Hilltoppers running away. 15 points. That's the largest lead for Western Kentucky. "15 points the difference, Western Kentucky. Josh Anderson a dunk, but the block that preceded it, my goodness.
6'6", fifth year from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Came into this game 26 all time on the Hilltopper scoring chart. And what an athlete and strong finish. Western Kentucky really flexed their muscles physically and defensively here in the second half, and that really turned into good offense for them. You know, we've talked about Western Kentucky and you know, what they've done, their traditions here, and how good they are. I mean, this is a program that's had 46 players picked in the NBA draft. That's a staggering stat. Last year, you know, Charles Bassey, another big man, 53rd overall. So what an environment, what a program, and what a great place to come and watch a basketball game.
CBS Sports did a ranking of all the college basketball programs not that long ago. Western Kentucky, 21st all time.
Top 25, really incredible, the tradition, and as we mentioned, the NBA players and the bodies and the guys that they've had up in the front court and guards. I mean, just terrific. So, been fun to watch, been a great game, and been a great second half for Western Kentucky.
But like kind of flies under the radar. If I sat you down as just a generic college basketball fan and said, name me the top 25 programs, I don't know that Western Kentucky comes immediately to top of mind, but it really should.
It really does. Wonderful basketball town. Great to be around Bowling Green today. And they go back to the 2-3 zone that got them in a little bit of trouble to start the game.
Oliveri trying to shoot over top the big fella in the heart of it. Nothing there for Rice. Now down around 30% in the second half. Western Kentucky also has the best mascot in Division I sports. Come at me. His name is Big Red. He is a giant red thing. Great. His mouth is functioning. Like he puts jerseys and basketballs in it and swallows them whole. They disappear.
Great fan base here. Great mascots, great fan base.
Mascot Hall of Famer. Driving. Nice little reverse in the right hand. Anderson. You know, good roster construction. How many guys have we talked about? Jamarian Sharp, Davion McKnight, Jarius Hamilton, Josh Anderson. They've got so many different go-tos that Anderson just kind of flies under the radar himself.
And I think it speaks to the program. Guys come here, they love it, the fan base, you know, their program, terrific league. We've talked about Conference USA and how many good teams there are and how many good games there are night in and night out. So, you know, this Rice team has got out to a good 2-0, you know, 2 wins in a row, and then came in here and faced a team that, you know, in the second half, really the end of the first half, that turned the tide. It was that play at the end of the first half, watching McKnight go to his strong left hand, and all of a sudden you just kind of felt the wind come out of Rice's sails.
They competed though, and it's a stepping stone process here for Rice trying to build this thing up into being a consistent winner. Oliveri, nice bounce pass. How about Sharp? Poteet thought he was home free. Oh, was he wrong?
And that's why they like to play that zone, because he can cover so much ground, and Poteet gonna have a few more of those blocked throughout his career, but boy, he's been impressive for a young freshman.
That is statistically the first blocked shot for Sharp tonight. Justice. I don't know how he kept that alive. Loose ball. Out on the break, and that is a foul? Yes. Cameron Sheffield fouled. You paid to see Jamarian Sharp, you need to see a block, and you got one, Mokasera. 7'5", and Rice has seen every bit of it.
Jamarian Sharp, the 7'5" center, has been spectacular here this evening. Blocking shots in transition, 3 steals on the game, contested shots. His ability to run and his ability to catch and finish has been so impressive. Terrific dunk shots. done so much for this Hilltopper group tonight. 12 points, 4 rebounds, but a stat that's not on there right now, I mentioned his 3 steals, shots affected. He has altered and changed so many shots up and down the court in this game. He's been dominant for the Hilltoppers.
Is there anyone like him in college basketball?
Boy, I'll tell you, it's a great question, Joel. You know, I think the thing that strikes me the most about him and trying to compare him to somebody, I feel like he's getting better every time he steps on the court. Like every game, I'm watching back games, he's just like getting better every single day. So his ceiling, he may be really improved by the end of the season.
And a steal by Poteet off of the free throw trip for Sheffield, right back to the cup. Cameron Sheffield is another young guy that has a bright career ahead of him. And I just think about Jamarian Sharp growing still. Adding 25 pounds. Another steal for Sheffield. Into the corner, a 3. That would have been a huge make. Would have cut it to an 11-point game.
Well, that's the way they like to play, and Coach Perez's squad have not given up today.
That would not have cut it to an 11-point game. Josh Anderson trying to print posters on his way out. Where do you think he decided he was going to dunk that ball?
As soon as he caught it, he was going to try. And Anderson has been terrific here, especially the second half. Mentioned coming into the game, you know, now going to be in the top 25 all-time scorers at Western Kentucky. And I think it's worth mentioning, too, the balance. You know, we touched on it earlier, but the balance they have of some youth, some transfers, some experience, some guys who've been here, and some guys that can shoot the ball. You know, Frampton, and we've seen Justice, you know, their ability. So when they're clicking on all cylinders, this is a really dangerous Western Kentucky team.
Elijah Poteet with his 4th foul, leading to that free throw trip there. Oliveri trying to rip baseline. Final 3 minutes here for Western Kentucky, trying to seal the deal. Good pass by Poteet. Opened up Oliveri. They just can't hit a 3 in the second half, and it's very un-Rice-like. Everything went down in the first. I want to go back to the point on Jamarian Sharp, though, because you talk about eating habits, and Rick Stansbury said, listen, he ate like a bird in junior college. When you're that big, you need lots of calories. And he's fouled by Poteet. That is 5 on Rice's big fella. But when you have a big player, an unnaturally sized center, what is it like as a coach to try to get them fed to the point where they can operate on the basketball court?
Well, the meal plan here for the student body at Western Kentucky, they might have had to take an overall look at it and up the meal plan a little bit, because that's a guy that, you know, needs fuel all the time. He's growing, his body is different than a lot of people, so you've got to treat him a little bit different. But that's, you know, we just got a chance to actually see him shoot the ball. He's got a nice touch too. I think worth noting. We watched him shoot some 3s before the game, and that will be a big part of his development, trying to get to the next level.
Rice has emptied out the bench a little bit. Noah Hutchins had his shot blocked. Welcome to college basketball for the redshirt freshman from Buffalo. Western still has its starting unit in. Rick Stansbury wants to see them work on some things, come together, finish out a game strongly. Rising up, that bucket's long. The rebound for Quincy Oliveri, because remember, and there's a minute 40 left in this game, but the La Tech loss, they were up double figures with 4 minutes to go, Western Kentucky. So seal the deal, even though you're up 16.
Tough to get a shot off against this defense, because they're going to contest everything. And one of my keys coming into the game, you know, contest a 3. That wasn't a 3, but in the second half, they have done everything, and that's just incredible.
Keep it in balance. That's such a huge skill.
Those big feet, boy, he can really move them around.
But how next level is that? Because most people block the shot and then, hey, celebrate myself.
And a lot of big guys can't do multiple things. You know, he can block a shot, has good balance. As I mentioned, you know, I think this is a guy who's just improving every day.
Great fight from Rice in the first half. Led virtually the entire way, but it was all Western Kentucky in the second. McKnight, double-double for him tonight, his second career.
1 minute remaining.
Riley Abercrombie, the Australian from Wollongong. his first bucket tonight. Western's probably going to shoot this at the very end, unless the Hilltoppers might even just take a shot clock violation. About a 20-second difference. It'll be Hamilton. Good defense by Abercrombie. And Noah Hutchins with the final 20 seconds. Terrence McBride, the Cornell transfer, no, and the rebound to end it for Hamilton and the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. They win 81% of their games at home in the 6-year tenure of Rick Stansbury. Rice threw a huge haymaker, Mo, but it's just hard to win here.
A really difficult place to play, terrific crowd, terrific atmosphere, and really terrific depth by Western Kentucky this evening.
So your final score, Western Kentucky 80, Rice 66. For Mo Casera and our entire crew, my name is Joel Gadet. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Coming up next, we send you to our New York studio, AJ Ross and the gang.